That's the beautiful rhythm that we've seen from Duffy all season. All smiles from a very proud Bermudian who wins the title, defends her title with maximum points, 5,200, her 6th win of the season.
Red seedless grapes only $3.99 per pound. Fresh Purdue chicken drumsticks half price $1.79 per pound. Select varieties of Yoplait yogurt 6-ounce tubs only $1.09. Scott extra soft toilet tissue 4 rolls only $3.29. Tide 2X laundry detergent 92-ounce bottle hot price $19.99. Save $7.06. All stores open Monday through Saturday 7 a.m. until 10 p.m. and Sunday 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. for your shopping convenience.
You can count on us.
Live from Bermuda Broadcasting, this is ZBM TV9 News.
You're watching Bermuda Broadcasting News. It's Thursday, May 3rd. I'm Jasmine Patterson, and thanks for joining us tonight. Air Canada is celebrating 70 years of service to Bermuda today. The number of visitors traveling from Canada has climbed recently, up almost 20% between 2016 and 2017. The world's 8th largest passenger airline began its operations to Bermuda in the late 40s and is hopeful the partnership will continue. It may look like a routine flight about to touch down at LF Wade International, but today this landing symbolizes 70 years of Air Canada service to the island. To mark the occasion, the Bermuda Fire and Rescue Service doused the plane with a water cannon salute on its way to the gate. Some may find it hard to believe that the original 40-seat Trans-Canada Airlines flight came to the island May 1948. This was after Imperial Airways and Pan American World Airways both began flying to Bermuda in the 1930s. The company changed its name to Air Canada in 1965 and now carries 4 times as many passengers. Visitor arrivals peaked in the 1980s, and our share of the Canadian market has fluctuated. Most recently, numbers dipped in 2016 to around 13,000 visitors per year, down from the previous year. However, the Bermuda Tourism Authority says a Canadian comeback is imminent.
It coincides nicely with a dramatic comeback in the number of Canadian visitors coming to Bermuda after what, I think if we're all honest, has been several difficult years. So in 2017, Bermuda experienced a 19% increase in the number of leisure air arrivals from Canada. That is a significant recovery from where we were the year before, and it's nice to see Canada, if you want, catching up with the United States in rediscovering Bermuda.
According to the BTA, a new partnership with marketing firm Reach Global and a fresh appeal to young visitors has been instrumental in fueling that growth. But what caused fewer visitors?
Honestly, we don't know. 2014 was a big drop. Unfortunately, it capped off a number of years of decline. I think there might have actually been a reduction in service that year as well. But, we have had a difficult run in the last decade in Canada, and it's great to see it returning to growth.
The new airport development partnership between ACON and Bermuda Skyport could also open up other opportunities for more visitors.
Together with our Canadian and Bermudian partners, our commercial focus is on business tourism and air service development. This year also marks a new phase for the Skyport relationship with Air Canada. We've just started discussion on new routes into and from Bermuda into Canadian cities, and we think we'll have new and more exciting information for you in the near future.
The acting premier shared his gratitude for the continued partnership through the decades.
This transport link has served many, including Bermudians and Canadians, successfully, steadfastly, and of course, most importantly, safely. Here in Bermuda, we are extremely grateful for all of that.
Jamal Simmons, Minister of Economic Development and Tourism, Brian McCormick, General Manager of Menzies Aviation, and Stephen Todd, Bermuda Hotel Association, were also in attendance for today's celebrations. And it wouldn't be much of a party without cake. Air Canada begins its spring schedule starting today, flying 5 times a week to Toronto's Pearson International, and from June 28th will operate daily. Both Government House and the Bermuda Police Service remain tight-lipped about candidates seeking to succeed Michael De Silva as Commissioner of Police. However, as Gary Moreno tells us in this report, the local officers vying for the post are described as highly experienced and well-respected.
The 3 local officers seeking to become the head of the Bermuda Police Service have been identified to us as Assistant Commissioner Antoine Daniels, Assistant Commissioner Martin Weeks, and Superintendent James Howard. Mr. Daniels, according to his bio, is a highly experienced member of the service, having worked in a number of departments including criminal investigations, drugs, operational policing support, service delivery improvement team, and serious crime, in which he led a number of high-profile murder investigations. He holds a Bachelor of Science degree in Criminal Justice Administration and has completed several police training courses in Bermuda and overseas, including at the U.S. Drug Enforcement Agency, the International Commanders Program, and the International Strategic Leadership Program at the Police Staff College in Bramshill, United Kingdom. He is only the 2nd student at the Staff College to receive executive diplomas in both strategic management and leadership from the Chartered Management Institute. Assistant Commissioner Daniels is also the recipient of 3 Commissioner's Commendations, 2 Merit Awards, and several letters of good work, and these are but a handful of his achievements. Assistant Commissioner Martin Weeks joined the Bermuda Police Service, having previously served with the Kent Constabulary in England. Since joining the BPS, he too has worked in a number of different areas within the organization, including Uniform Patrol, Child Victims Unit, School Liaison, and as Parish Constable for Smith's Parish. As an inspector and later chief inspector, he was posted to the St. George's and Southside police stations and was more recently the superintendent in charge of the island's police stations with responsibility for community policing. Mr. Weeks holds a Bachelor of Science degree in Policing and Police Studies, a Level 7 certificate in Strategic Management and Leadership, and has also received training in the United States, the Caribbean, and Canada. He too completed the International Strategic Leadership Program at Bramshill. Superintendent James Howard, meanwhile, his record is also impressive. During his time with the BPS so far, he has been attached to the Central and Western Uniform Parishes Department, Cycle Crime, Motorcycle Patrol Section, Criminal Investigations, and Serious Crime Unit. He's also supervised most of those departments and units. Mr. Howard spent 3 years in the Narcotics Department before being transferred to the Police Training Center. He has also been Area Commander, Community Policing Division. Superintendent Howard has trained in England, the United States, the Caribbean, and South Africa. He's completed the Commander's Program at the National Police Improvement Agency at Bramshill and the International Strategic Leadership Program with the Ministry of National Security Special Anti-Crime Unit of Trinidad and Tobago. Mr. Howard holds a diploma in criminal justice and police management, a Bachelor of Science degree in policing and police studies, and a master's degree in management and human resource management. He's also received 4 Commissioner's Commendations, 1 Merit Award, and 7 letters of good work. Our sources within the Bermuda Police Service telling us the feeling among the rank and file is that these officers are more than qualified and experienced to hold the post of Commissioner and would like to see one of their own appointed. Asked for comment on the qualifications and experience of these officers, a spokesperson for Government House told us it would be inappropriate to comment on matters of a personal nature such as these. As previously noted, the Governor will make a statement about the appointment of the Commissioner of Police when the recruitment process is complete. Gary Moreno, reporting for the Bermuda Broadcasting News.
And staying with police news, Wayne Keynes, the Minister of National Security, has called allegations that the integrity of the police promotion exams process may have been compromised gravely concerning. This following a report by Gary Moreno, as you just heard, highlighting allegations of dishonest practices regarding the police promotions exams process. It's alleged the answers to questions on the promotion exams for constables and sergeants were leaked to certain officers writing the exams. The minister saying he is extremely disappointed that the first time that his department heard about these concerns is through the media, when there is a proper mechanism for bringing such matters to his attention. Minister Keynes stated the integrity of the police promotion process must be upheld, and any actions or behaviors that undermine the process will not be tolerated. The ministry has launched an internal investigation into the matter to assess the origins and validity of the allegations, and will be speaking to the Bermuda Police Association and staff to ensure a full understanding of the matter. We'll have more news for you after this short break. Stay with us.
The Marketplace Food Court is you and your family's one-stop shop. Start your day at the Breakfast Bar with omelets made to order and traditional Bermuda codfish breakfast. The chefs will cook lunch and dinner to your liking. Along with the salad bar, sandwich bar, sushi bar, and fruit bar, the Marketplace Food Court is your kitchen away from home. Every day is hassle-free with nutritious meals from the Marketplace Food Court. Visit us 7 days a week. Homemade cooking, quality service, all at prices you can count on.
Are you ready? A day you won't forget as Bermuda Salute presents Spring Fling, Saturday, May 12th, featuring two of reggae music's biggest megastars, the Queen of Reggae, Marcia Griffiths, and the captain of the big ship, Freddie McGregor. National Sports Center, under the tent, hit after hit from Marcia Griffiths and Freddie McGregor. Music by DJ Radcliffe, Xanadu Music Jamaica, DJ Juggling Jason, and DJ Breeze. Tickets at Pizza House, all locations, Jamaican Grill, Court Street, Wiki Licky Laundromat in Hamilton, or ptix.bm online. Hosted by Power Girl. Sponsors, Wiki Licky Laundromats, Pizza House, Pepsi, and Grotto Bay. Saturday, May 12, showtime 8 p.m. National Sports Center.
Looks like the sun, it doesn't shine for me.
Spring Fling.
Still I'm a living, trying to be free.
Totally wrong. That's how the political commentator Charles Jeffers views legislation passed by the UK House of Commons this week that would force Bermuda and the overseas territories to establish a beneficial companies register. British MPs say they had no choice but to force the system upon the territories because they had 5 years to act on their own but did not. Mr. Jeffers is among the many in Bermuda who feel the mother country has overstepped its bounds.
Well, certainly it puts us at a disadvantage because, using the old expression, any Tom, Dick, and Harry can then go and see who's doing business in Bermuda and decide that they can make them a target for our business. It is my understanding that we already have the register that is open to any legitimate government who wants to check on a company or an individual for their purposes, and that's the way I believe it should remain. But it puts us in a vulnerable position, in my view, if we have a register that's wide open. That's like me renting your house or you and I saying I want to see all your financial matters. To me, it's totally wrong.
Inevitably, the will of the UK House of Commons to force legislation against our will has invoked claims of colonialism and calls for the island to consider becoming independent. However, Mr. Jeffers feels any decision on national sovereignty should be taken by young people.
You know, some years ago, I made a statement. I said, I believe that we should prepare for independence, have it in our back pocket, so if we need it, we use it. And the reason I say that is because if we get to a situation where the British government decides to impose something on us, and this is above party, above politics. This is about the people of Bermuda, and we should have the right to say, okay, fine, you know, we will go our way. Is this the preferred thing? That's still to be debated, and I still believe that those in the younger generations need to be the ones to speak up about those issues. But if anything is imposed on us, we should be ready to move to independence.
Bermuda says its economy would be damaged if it is forced to implement a public register, which would allow anyone access to the owners of local companies. The island prefers its current system of providing information to foreign governments upon request. And Premier David Byrd sounding a defiant note during an appearance on Bloomberg Markets AM as he addressed the issue of the passing of that bill in the British House of Commons seeking to have Bermuda and other overseas territories make public their ownership registries by 2020. The Premier also explaining the government's position on same-sex marriage.
From the Bermuda perspective, we do not recognize the right of the United Kingdom to set our laws because we have full internal self-government. And the only thing the United Kingdom actually has a responsibility for is external affairs, internal security, and defense. However, because I don't want to conflate the issues, what they had spoken about was an issue of having a public register of beneficial owners of companies, which is not the global standard of which exists. Bermuda has, unlike many countries, for over 70 years had a central register of beneficial ownership. So we know all the persons who own the companies that are registered in Bermuda. And what we also have is that we are compliant with the international standards, which is set by the OECD, of making sure that we exchange that information with authorities around the world who are looking to get that. So Bermuda has led the charge. We are one of the leaders in international tax transparency and compliance. So we are the first overseas territory to have an agreement with Her Majesty's Revenue and Customs in the UK, and the first overseas territory to have an agreement with the U.S. Internal Revenue Service here in the United States. So we have led the space in this charge, but Bermuda is not a tax play. Bermuda is a regulatory play as well. And so what you will see for the insurance companies, a lot of the insurance companies that are actually in Bermuda have taken a, hate to get too technical, a 953 election on their tax return. So they actually file taxes as a U.S. taxpayer, but they're in Bermuda because we have a unique regulatory environment that allows them to deal with one regulator to access insurance markets in the United States, as opposed to the 50 different regulators that are in all of these states here in the U.S.
The one question I want to ask you has to do with same-sex marriage. What's the status?
Bermuda, we are the first Caribbean UK overseas territory to give full legal recognition to same-sex couples. It is something that did not exist in Bermuda before our government passed it, and we are welcoming to all persons on our shores. We are proud of the record of which we have. If you want to say 5 years ago, there was nothing, but now we recognize all same-sex couples.
Turning to business news now, from earnings to apps, Tony Waterman has your business mashup.
Clarion Bank is going mobile. The lender is launching a mobile app giving existing iBank customers 24/7 access to their accounts, allowing them to transfer funds or pay bills on the go. The app will be available for both Apple and Android devices on Monday. HSBC was the first bank in Bermuda to launch mobile banking back in 2013. Butterfield quickly followed suit. Bermuda's current account surplus narrowed in the fourth quarter of last year compared to the year before, coming in just shy of $200 million. This was mainly due to a lower surplus balance on the primary income account. The value of imported goods also fell, with fuel, finished equipment, and machinery topping the list. In contrast, the imports of food, beverages, and tobacco jumped $4 million. This data is from the last 3 months of 2017 and doesn't represent the current situation. XL Group's first quarter earnings came in over $152 million. Adjusted earnings, though, missed analyst estimates, coming in at 82 cents per share versus an average estimate of 95 cents. The property and casualty insurer also paid more income tax in the first quarter compared to the year before. That's on the back of a jump in operating income and more of its earnings coming through taxable jurisdictions. XL shares up nearly 60% in New York year to date, most of that coming after French insurer AXA agreed to a $15 billion takeover deal in March. And speaking of AXA, the French insurer saw revenues fall nearly 3% in the first quarter. That's not because growth slowed in its home market, but rather that growth was undercut by a strong euro. Just last week, AXA laid out plans for the listing of its U.S. business, AXA Equitable. The U.S. IPO could raise just north of $4 billion. The proceeds will go towards funding the takeover of XL Group, although AXA's CEO has stressed that the acquisition is not dependent on the IPO. And that's your business mashup. I'm Tony Waterman.
Now it's time to go to the AccuWeather headquarters for the latest.
AccuWeather is presented by BF&M Insurance Group. We now go to AccuWeather headquarters.
This AccuWeather forecast is brought to us by our friends at the BF&M Insurance Group, and we look good across Bermuda. We are still under an area of high pressure. Now, to our south, you can see there's a little bit of a disruption with some showers and thunderstorms. Pretty good little disturbance there. The center of low pressure is on the southwestern flank of that, just north of the Turks and Caicos. We're going to keep an eye on this system. It's not going to become a tropical storm, most likely, or anything of that nature, but it will move northwest, and it may bring some rain to areas like the east side of Florida into possibly the southeastern U.S. Most of it will be impacting places like the Bahamas. It should stay to our south, though. We may eventually see a little moisture from it as we step into the middle part of next week. That's still a long ways away. So we have 5 good days to tell you about, with high pressure still driving the bus here. That yellow and orange is indicating dry air as we look at the water vapor imagery and that moisture to the south. Even though the bands of clouds appear to be radiating away from the center, they're not making a whole whole lot of progress in our direction, so we still look real nice. 71 degrees, life is good in Bermuda this evening. Humidity 60 to 65%, light breeze from the northeast. Water temp 73, creeping up there, and technically it's 72 and a half. We round to the closest number here, but it's warming up a little bit, and the waves on the inside real flat, so you could take maybe your parents out on a kayak journey this evening and you won't have any casualties, but stay safe. Tonight, mainly clear, 68 degrees, and we're looking good. As we look at the tide chart here, we do have the tide coming back in tonight, approaching midnight. It goes back out tomorrow morning, and then another high tide right around lunchtime tomorrow. So that looks good. No weather-related alerts or warnings or watches to tell you about, and that's good news. We could use a little rain, but I guess we'll take the good with the bad. So sunshine tomorrow, really pleasant day, comfortable, 74. And here you can see the center of high pressure. It's just off to our east. And it is our namesake, the Bermuda High, drifting east. So we still look nice with the more agitated weather a little farther south. You can see a little extra moisture with that more active wind to the north of that disturbance near the Turks and Caicos. That stays out of our area for a little while. Gateway forecast up and down eastern North America. Showers in Toronto and Boston. Warm still, not as warm as we were earlier today. Miami's still toasty, and then across the pond, London's warming up nicely, 65 degrees. Into the Caribbean we go with scattered thunderstorms into Jamaica, showers into Barbados and Trinidad, and we are warm in those areas as one might expect. So we look good. Now, if there's any change between now and Tuesday, this is a really consistent forecast, you may notice temperatures climbing a degree or two, and there may be a little extra cloud cover into Monday and Tuesday as that disturbance moves from north of the Turks and Caicos Islands to a point to our west, dragging a little extra moisture into our sky. Have a good one.
AccuWeather was presented by BF&M Insurance Group.
This is Rick Blomquist of De Pere, Wisconsin. His life is pretty comfortable. He lives in a comfy home, wears comfortable shoes. He even has a comfortable job. Rick Blomquist thought he had comfort all figured out. But then he laid on a Certa and realized his life was only just sorta comfortable. The new Certa iComfort Hybrid Mattress. Not just sorta comfortable, Certa comfortable.
Feel the difference a good night's sleep can make. Exclusively available at Dreams, Bermuda's only mattress gallery.
Pumps make our world go. Cars, washing machines, oil rigs, submarines, all have pumps. The heart is a pump too. And like all pumps, it has parts that wear out and need to be replaced. But the heart isn't easy to get to. First, surgeons have to cut through a protective cage. But what if you could get to the heart the same way blood does? Through an artery. Researchers at Columbia and Weill Cornell, working with New York Presbyterian, pioneered an artificial aortic valve that folds closed, like an umbrella. Doctors guide the valve through arteries to the heart, where it unfolds and goes to work. Techniques like TAVR may soon replace open heart surgery altogether. Patients could check in the morning and leave with a rebuilt heart the very next day. That's amazing. And it's happening right here at New York Presbyterian.
Welcome back. A section of the Elif Wade International Airport's short-term parking is closed for 4 weeks to allow upgrades to the terminal. 9 large fans that circulate air around the terminal will be replaced, as well as its support structure. A spokesperson confirms construction of the new terminal is on course for completion in 2020. However, says it's essential that the failing old air handling units are replaced to ensure comfortable airflow through the building. It's been said the new air handling units will improve air quality and be more energy efficient. In addition, the units are made of stainless steel for longevity in Bermuda's harsh environment. Now let's join Earl Basin with the latest from the sports desk.
Fresh Driscoll strawberries, 1 pound package, $6.99. Fresh certified Angus beef top round steak, $6.99 per pound. Tostitos tortilla chips, 10-ounce bags, hot price at $4.99. Kellogg's Special K cereal, 12-ounce box, only $6.99. Select the size roll, Bounty paper towels, hot price, $2.49. All stores open Monday through Saturday, 7 a.m. until 10 p.m. and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. for your shopping convenience.
You can count on us. Are you looking to expand your customer base? Increase sales and be a part of the Island Community Events for 2018? Bermuda Broadcasting Company can make that happen.
Be a part of World Cup 2018, Bermuda Day Half Marathon, Bermuda Heroes Weekend, Cup Match Classic, and Eastern Counties Cricket.
Inquire about our new advertising opportunities, whether big or small. We will deliver. Come and see us at Fort Hill, Devonshire, or email us at sales@bbc.pm or send us a message on Facebook at Bermuda Broadcasting.
Well, it's been said that the eyes are the windows to the soul. So what about your teeth? Increasingly, they're seen as a reflection of your overall health. In a follow-up to our diabetes special, Tony Waterman takes a look at the link between diabetes and gum disease.
You've been on that antibiotic and doing that antimicrobial rinse.
It's another visit to the dentist for Derek Lindo. The IT specialist spends more time here than most would like.
So I'm just going to lie it back down here.
Derek has periodontal disease, more commonly known as gum disease. That may conjure up some pretty horrible images, but as you can see, Derek's smile is well intact.
If I smile, you can't really tell there's anything wrong with my mouth. I've still got all my teeth. It's just, in some areas I've just got bone loss, which can be a problem if not treated.
Gum disease is surprisingly common in adults. It's caused by a buildup of plaque. That bacteria can inflame and swell the gums. Left untreated, teeth separate from the gum and fall out. The problem is more acute for diabetics like Derek.
Periodontal disease is like a wound in the mouth that just doesn't heal well, so that's why you're more susceptible if your blood sugar is not well controlled. And on the flip side of that, periodontal disease is a chronic inflammatory disease. As most diabetics know, if they have inflammation from something, an infection, if they get an infection anywhere else, they know that their blood sugar will spike.
It's a toxic relationship, and with Bermuda's high incidence of diabetes, Dr. David Samuels says the island is facing an epidemic.
We may see in the greater Boston area about once a year a very young person with a rapidly progressive case. Here in Bermuda, much smaller population, I'm seeing it almost every week to every month at the most, where somebody's coming in their teens or even 20s already with some teeth that we can't treat, too far involved.
The demand for dentures is so high that it's created a business opportunity for Andorika Gilbert. She works full-time in a dentist's office, but after hours, she's here, making dentures.
The typical wait time if you're sending something abroad is about 4 to 6 weeks in between stages. I think when you're worried about losing your teeth, especially if it's in the front, you want to know how soon are you going to get it back.
She invested $20,000 to get the venture off the ground. Since opening in November, she's made dozens of dentures. Demand is so strong, she expects to be full-time next year.
I had a gentleman that came in with at least, I want to say 20 or more teeth that were, heavily affected by gum disease where, the roots are exposed. There's really no other option.
Luckily for Derek Lindo, options are still plentiful.
The most important part of the next couple weeks is oral hygiene and to make sure your blood sugar is well controlled.
Like diabetes, gum disease can't be cured, but it can be stabilized.
You don't want to be a 40 or 50-year-old and all your teeth are falling out, so I definitely try to be proactive rather than reactive.
And that's certainly something to smile about. Tony Waterman for Bermuda Broadcasting News.
Now let's join Earl Baston with the latest from the sports desk.
Bermuda's men's national cricket team have put themselves in a rather bigger hole, going down by 4 wickets to Vanuatu in the ICC World Cricket League Division 4 earlier today in Malaysia. Bermuda batted first and could only manage 181 for 9 in their allotted 50 overs. Captain Terran Frey was the top scorer with 77, while Dion Stubble added 35. In reply, Vanuatu would score 183 for 6 after 49 overs. Shane Dietz was their top scorer with 71 not out, while Dion Stubble was the pick of the Bermuda bowlers with figures of 10 overs, 2 maidens, 4 for 38. The My Bermuda House National Squash Championships moved into the quarterfinals last evening, where the men's and ladies' top seeds all advanced. Men's number 1 seed Michael Franklin defeated Tavario Thompson 11-5, 11-5, 11-4, while the number 2 seed Noah Brown defeated Headley Farah 11-8, 11-6, 11-2. In the ladies' division, the number 1 seed Rachel Barnes defeated Joanne Bilby 11-5, 11-4, 11-6. Laura Robinson, the number 2 seed, defeated Denise Kine 11-6, 11-9, 11-5. The 2018 Bermuda Area Permit Meet is only 8 days away, and the president of the Bermuda National Athletic Association, Donna Rayner, is looking forward to a jam-packed event with top-class athletes.
Now that we have witnessed a fantastic performance by Flora Duffy and watching the international athletes compete in Bermuda, Bermuda now has a chance to see even more international athletes at our event. We have Commonwealth and Olympic medalists competing. We will have around 70 athletes competing at this event. We would have liked to have more of our Bermudian athletes compete, but due to the timing of the event, which is not entirely under our control, as we have to fit in with the NACAC circuit, several of our university students are unable to participate due to school commitments. At the end of the day, one of our main goals is to assist our athletes in receiving athletic scholarships. Bermuda's 2 Olympians, Trey Houston, will be competing in the 100 and 200, Tyrone in the long jump. One of our up-and-coming long jumpers, Brewster Grilla, will also compete in that event. Our Paralympian, Jessica Lewis, will be competing in the 100 and 200 para events. Bermuda's multiple Carifta medalist, Sakari Famous, will be competing in the high jump.
And that's all we have for you. Thanks for spending your Thursday night with us. We hope to see you again soon. Good night.
Jasmine Patterson's wardrobe and makeup is provided by Gibbons Company.